we're going to be using a white oil pastel on white paper. Don't worry, it'll show up later. But for the purposes of this video, so that you can see what I'm drawing, I'm going to use a darker piece of paper and show you the first step of our project. We're going to start by creating a horizon line. Just be kind of a curved line somewhere around the middle of your paper. Of course, remember, you will be doing this on white paper, so it'll be a little bit harder to see. Then we are going to be creating some puddles. And the way we're going to do this, we're going to kind of make some ovals. Here, you can do different sizes, different shapes. This one, maybe I'll do 1, 2, 3 layers. Some of them I only did 2. You can also do kind of different shapes as well, besides just perfect looking ovals. All right, and once you're happy with the number of puddle rings that you have, we're going to move on to our rainbow next. So I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way and do this on my white paper, and you guys can go ahead and do this on your white paper. Next up, we're going to be creating our rainbow. This is going to go just right in this area, right on that horizon line or on our hill. I'm going to do this on my white paper now, so I'm moving this one out of the way just so that you can see where my horizon line is, since it's not going to really show up on my video. My horizon line was right here. Okay, we're going to start at the bottom of our rainbow with purple. So you're just drawing kind of a curved shape, and then another one that's kind of parallel to that, and then you can color that in. The next color in the rainbow will be a blue. You can use light blue, dark blue, whatever oil pastel you can find. This one, I don't really have to make that second line unless you want to, and then you can color that one in. I am trying to keep each layer of my rainbow around the same size, which is about the width of a finger. Okay, not too little, not too big. Next up, we have green. Okay, color that one in. So if you notice, the bottom half of a rainbow would be all of our cool colors, green, blue, and purple. And now we're going to move on to those warm colors, starting with yellow. So add your yellow part of the rainbow. Next up is orange. And at the very top of our rainbow, we're going to end with red. And then feel free to color that last one in. And we'll move on to our next step, which is adding the raindrops. For the raindrops, again, I'm going to use my white oil pastel. Now, because you can't really see what I'm doing on the white on white paper, I'm going to move over here. Okay, let's pretend my rainbow is kind of this general area. For the raindrops, you have a couple options. You can either do some straight diagonal lines, or if you would rather do the raindrops that are more of that tear shape and color those in, you can do that. It's really up to you how you want your raindrops to look, but you're going to add those not only in the sky, but also on the ground as well. I think that it looks really nice if you have a raindrop going right in the middle of some of those puddles, because then it looks like the raindrop is kind of creating that ripple effect in the water. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on to doing this on my white paper, and you guys can go ahead and add those raindrops on your white paper. The last step of our project will be adding our watercolor background. So we're going to use that wet on wet technique, meaning that I am getting my paper, I'm painting it with water first before I dip into my actual paints. So I'm going to start with the sky. Okay. Make sure your paper gets nice and wet. And then for my background, I am just using the blue and the black for this. So, water here. As you can see with that wet on wet technique, it should just kind of spread out nicely. Should go pretty quick once you dip into your paints. With the black, I'm going to use a little bit less water because I want it to be darker. And you can add some spots of black within your sky so it really looks like a stormy sky. I would avoid blending everything together, because if you just do this to your whole paper, you're not going to really see the two colors. You're not going to see the blue and black. It's just going to look all like navy blue. And I think that it looks kind of nice to be able to see the two different colors, to be able to see the black and the blue. Okay, again, I'm moving on to, I'm doing the same exact thing to the bottom of my artwork. So getting my paper wet first, and then I can go through and add the black and blue wherever I'd like it. The more water that you use, the more of a gray color that you'll have, or the more of a light blue color that you'll have. So play around with it, but hopefully in your finished piece, we will see some black and some blue, because I think that variety looks nice. All right, make sure that you have painted the whole paper. There's no white spaces on the edges. The only white that we see is where that oil resisted the water from our oil pastels. So here's our finished painting. Go put it on the drying rack, and you're